Hello, my name is Antoinette Bay with the Paper Papillon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lynbrook, New York, which is on the South Shore of Long Island, for anyone that is not familiar with Lynbrook. Thank you for joining me. Today I am creating a fun fold card with a secret gift card compartment. Okay, and I am going to tell you right off the bat that I'm using a retired Stampin' Up! Envelope punch board. However, you can find these on Amazon or on in a craft store by, let's see, this was made by We Are Memory Keepers, so I assume you can, We Are Memory Keepers still has it out there, but I know that you can find envelope punch boards online. So I don't have a problem using this. And then we'll also be using the mini Stampin' cut and emboss machine. And I will show you what stamp sets we're using before I get started. You could use whatever sentiments you have, but I'm using the current wrap bouquet. I'm using that just for the word "for you." I'm using a retired from Celebration Punch Party, which was a hostess set. And I am going to be using a heartfelt thanks for everything. And then in Painted Poppies, I'm just using this little splatter mark right there. And then I'll be using the dies from the wrapped bouquet right here. There's a little tag in here somewhere. I don't see it at the moment, but I will find it when I need it. So there's a little tag that's in there. Those are the stamps I'm using today. I'm using Seaside Spray, Night of Navy. I'm going to give a whirl with a crinkled seam white, let's see, crinkled seam binding ribbon with basic white, whisper white, and then the snail mail twine. We'll be using the white snail mail, or maybe even the blush, not sure yet. And then I'm using retired Paper Blooms paper, and I already cut out lots of dies from it, so let's put those on the side. I cut out a bunch of stuff and I'll be using some of it. So let's put that on the side. Now this is a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 piece of Designer Series paper. And how about if I grab that just to show you what I'm using here? If I could find it. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So for the flowers, what I did for the flowers and the leaves here, what I did was cut out these little circles here and used those circles instead of cardstock. On my original, I used cardstock, and I decided since this is retired and I won't be using that much of it, I would use these circles instead for a watercolor kind of look, right? So I'll put that all on the side so I don't lose it. And as you can see, I keep all my scraps in little Ziplocs, and we'll just move forward with starting this card. So this is the diagram actually, but you don't need the diagram. Cardstock's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 scored at 2 5/8 for a 3 by 3 card. I think it measures it's a different measurement actually, but why don't we get started with, well, let me show you the rest. So this is 5 3/4 and 5 by 5 3/4 for the envelope. This is 2 1/4 by 6, and we'll be adhering these scallop pieces from the Stitched Be Mine dies to this. This is a 9 1/2 inch by 1 1/2 inch piece of vellum. This will need for the tag. This is 4 by 11, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 on the basic white. And then we have another pattern that these are 2 inch by 3 inch on this pattern. So why don't we get started with just the envelope for now, and then we'll pull out our scoreboard. So it needs to go here. So 5 3/4, we're doing a 3 by 3 1/2 inch envelope. So it's 3 by 3 card size, 3 by 3 1/2. Paper size needs to be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then we're going to score at 2 5/8. Okay, I'm going to take out comes with a handy dandy little scoring tool, and let me come down here a little bit. And so we'll start the score right here on the score line and then punch and then turn it around and have this little tick mark meet that score line. I have to stand up for that. And then score. Turn that around and have that tick mark meet the score line. Punch and score, and then we'll do one more. Punch and score. Now, the opposite side has a little notch in it for you to give it a an oval shape, a rounded shape. Okay, now we're done with the scoreboard. Put that away. Move this over. And now we will take our bone folder and give each score line a very nice crease. Keep these two flaps in. If you prefer this side, you could use this side. That's the beauty of two-sided paper. Now I'm going to put the tear and tape on the inside bottom part of the flap. And then I'm going to grab my tweezers and pick that cover up. And there you have a nice folded envelope. Okay, and we can put that on the side for now, and we'll decorate that shortly. All right, there's our envelope. So let's see the measurement. It said 3.5 by 3, right? So, oh well, it's actually 4, almost 4 by 3, almost 3 1/4. So 3 1/8 by almost 4, just about. And that's the size of our Whisper White, Basic White cardstock. So this one gets folded, gets scored right here in the center. On the 11-inch side, it gets scored at 5.5. And then we'll fold that over and give that a nice crease. Now, the Basic White tends to fray a little bit on top. So once I do that, I then fold it over the opposite way and you don't see fray lines. Just a hint. Eventually this is going to go on the inside, but first we have to work with the 5.5 by 8.5 piece. Now you're going to take your ruler, and on the 8.5-inch side, you're going to create a tick mark with a pencil, because you will not see this pencil mark. And that would be half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. So we want to put a tick mark right here. Okay. And now we're going to fold each side into that tick mark. And then the opposite side right into that tick mark. Right butt up against the other. And there we have it. And now I'm going to look on the opposite side to be sure there's nothing hanging over. And there's just a slight bit hanging. So I want to slice that off. And it looks like the top portion is perfect. So we'll leave that alone. So there you have it. Now, if the fraying, there doesn't appear to be fraying here, but if it bothers you, you could flip it over. Actually, I think the fraying's on that side this time. This is fine. Oops, I'm sorry if I shook the table. Okay, so now we have our part here. This is the part we're going to work on first. So, well, we'll need to put that on the side for now because we do have to adhere these pieces to these 6-inch by 2 1/4. And in this case, I'm going to flip this over because I want to use the opposite side and adhere some glue. I should have my mat down, but I don't, so I'm going to be very careful. With the glue. Nothing got on my table, thank goodness. But I should have my silicone mat down. And now we will just adhere this to the bottom. Okay, and if it's hanging over a little bit, it's fine. We'll cut that down. And then we kind of want to make sure that this is going to line up. And so we want to line up our designer series paper. And that is why you use liquid glue, so that way if you need to manipulate it, it's easily manipulated. Okay, there we go. That's dry. Now we're going to take our trimmer. I'm using my mini trimmer that I received a while back. And I know it's unavailable, but you could use your larger trimmer. It's just easier for me at this table. And we want to cut 2-inch squares, 2-inch pieces all the way across. So this is going to give us three pieces. And there's a little overhang there, so I want to cut off that little overhang of the cardstock. So now I have 3 2¼ inch pieces, and now on the second piece, I want 1 at 2 inches, and then this is 4 inches, and that's what we need. So now we have 4 pieces and 1 4-inch piece. Okay. Alrighty, we're moving right along. Now the next part is our striped, or a different pattern, let's say, for the bottom. So we're going to be adhering these 3-inch by 2-inch pieces to the bottom, like that. And I want to see, okay, I like this one better. This will go on the inside. So these two are going in the front. So I'll put some liquid glue on these. So I can move it around if I need to, if I don't like the placement. I have a lot of stock on liquid glue, and you do need to keep it, try your best to keep it off your fingers too. Okay, so there's very little showing at the bottom and the sides. And then we'll do the same here and line that up. So there's about, it won't be exact. You'll have maybe a little more space on one side than the other because of however this folded in. One side may be a little bit larger than the other, but it's close. So now we want to put some liquid glue on here. Let's see, I kind of want to go with something that might, I don't remember if there was a side that maybe matched up. Nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. So it doesn't matter how you put this on. Actually, well, how I put it on. There may be a perfect match for the front for you, but I don't see it on mine. I should actually take a minute to check that out. Let me be sure that there isn't. Yeah, that doesn't go there. Let's see what goes here. This goes, might go here. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Let's see. Which one has glue on it? No, I can't figure it. So we'll just stick with the ones that are glued and just put it down. I can't remember how I cut it, but you might want to pay attention to that when you're cutting. And that's just going to go right over the top of that. And this one's going to go right over the top of this, and I want it to match up, and it does, and that makes me happy. And then we're going to do the same thing on the inside. So we'll take the striped pieces first, And like I said, I should have a mat, and I don't. And now we'll go on the inside. Move that over a bit. And the same here. It's pretty close. And now the top. Now we'll do that up here. And this one here. Okay, so those will dry. Now we'll bring this back, and this one's going up here, okay? But we need to make sure that it's going to, before we glue anything down, we're not gluing anything down yet, we need to make sure we put it in the right place. So this would be about the right place. So we're going to leave that there. I'm going to adhere my glue. Whoops. I want to make sure it's perfect. It appears to be. And then my scallops line up very well. And my Designer Series paper lines up very well. And I'm very happy with that. So I will give that a nice press. And then there's going to be some overhang. So I am going to cut that overhang down before I, in this case, I may need my, oh, I do. There's too much. This is thick cardstock, so it's a little hard to get through. So I will bring over my trimmer to get that off. Okay, that should be good. Not 100%. I'm going to get my scissor and get that off. And there we go. Now we can glue this on the inside. Okay. And I'm using basic white cardstock. You could use a different color if you'd like. Maybe Seaside Spray would have been nice, or Night of Navy, not Midnight, Night of Navy. Okay, and there you have it. So I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure I glue that down. Kind of all over. Okay, now before we do anything else, we're going to stamp. So this is where my Night of Navy and Seaside Spray inks come in. So I'm going to take Seaside Spray and a piece of scrap and ink that up and then stamp off and put, I hope you can see me, put that on the upper right. It's very faint. And then a little bit more maybe right here. And then I'm going to take Night of Navy and just right over that, I'm going to take my sentiment and put it right over the little splatter like that. So heartfelt thanks for everything. And now we can put the envelope right on the inside on the bottom. And in this case, I'm taking tear and tape for this. And the reason is because I'm going to have a gift card in there, so I don't want it to weigh it down. And if I use liquid glue, I don't know if it will be strong enough. So I'd rather be safe and use some tear and tape. But you certainly can use adhesive, liquid glue, tear and tape. You certainly can, whatever is your preference. And now that gets aligned at the bottom. And then you'll be able to write your message inside here. And we will decorate this momentarily, but first I want to decorate the front. Or actually we could do either or. Let's go ahead and start decorating this. So I'm going to take the smaller one, which is what I did on my original. And I think I'll take, that's pink. I think I have maybe blue little dots somewhere. Not sure. Let's see. Oh, I have light blue. That's good. I'm going to put that on there. Okay. Let that dry. And then I'm going to take these little leaves and a glue dot. And that is not staying where I wanted it to. And put it on the back. Like that, and can manipulate it. And then it will go like that. But I think I'm going to put one more at the bottom. That, and then put it on here. I do want to be sure these stay together. So I'm going to put one more glue dot on there. I want to make sure they stay together like that. And then I'll adhere it to the envelope. I'm just putting a little glue dot on the bottom of the flap where I know I will not see it. It will not interfere with anything, and then that will go right on top of that. Like that. And there we have a little nice decorated envelope or envelope. Okay, now for the inside, I'm going to take this large one and throw a little liquid glue behind there. Hopefully you're seeing this. I'm not too low. But before I do that, I need to take, I needed a strip. Okay, we're going to do this a little different. I forgot the strip. So we'll put one here for now. And then I need a big circle for the center. And we'll see what we have left over in a little while. And we'll leave that there. And actually, maybe we'll just do, let's just see what we have left over after we do the front. Oh no, I pulled that off. Where'd it go? Is it on me? I have another right here. I'll find it. I have to remember to hold my finger down long enough. And that can stay right there. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll clean that off later too. Let's see. We don't want that to be sticky. Okay, so there's that and that. Now we're going to take vellum, wrap it around so that they meet kind of in the center. of the scallop. There may be more. You may have more than you need. Now you want it to be loose enough to slide, but tight enough that it doesn't slide. So I am going to cut, now this is going to get covered, so I'm going to cut a little bit more. So this is 9.5 by 1.5. Maybe you need 9.25 by 1.5. So I'm going to put some tear and tape here. Once again, we'll pull that off. And like I said, you want it to be tight enough. Yeah, we can still pull that off. That's great. Okay, next is going to be the ribbon. Now, on my original, I used scalloped linen ribbon. And on this, I kind of wanted to go with the white. I wanted to bring some white in here. So I'm just wrapping it around and then giving it a nice bow. Now this is going to stay on this card. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to undo it once the card is made. So what I'm going to do, I need it nice and tight. What I'm going to do is take my tweezers. Here's a little trick if you don't know it. Take my tweezers, keep that nice and tight, and keep my tweezers right there, and then tie my bow. Just like that. And there, we can adjust the length of the ribbon later. But for now, that's all we need. I'm going to put this away and put a little pin in it. And one thing I forgot is my circle punch. I'm going to take 2 sizes because I'm not 100% sure what I need. And this does not have to be any kind of fancy paper. So I have some scrap here. I'm going to use it. And that will go kind of centered there. But before we do that, I need to place all our flowers. So let's start with this big white one, and we'll get that to cover up the little splatter right there. I'll place that right there, and I'll work around that. So pick the flower you're going to work around. So I'm choosing to work around this big white one, and I'll just lay that right there. And then I'm going to put these together. Now I'm going by my original right now. I'm going to kind of follow that since I have that already done. Easy to follow instead of making this up as I go. I am not the best at doing that, making things up as I go. I kind of am a planner. And anybody that watches me on my lives knows I'm a planner. So I kind of have to have my things in order to go live, at least. Okay, and then that is going to go somewhere probably around here or like that. I'm not sure. I'm going to get a nice big fat blue one to put in the middle of the white. Like that. And then I have a blue, a Seaside Spray, I should call it by what they are called on Stampin' Up. And let's see, do I have a dark blue? I don't, but I have a Rococo Rose color, so I'll put that on there. That works just as well. And so maybe that's going to go like that, and this is going to go like this. I'm just playing with this right now. And then I have another big one. Let's see. It's going to go like that. Like this. All right. We'll just have to wing this with these colors. Maybe I'll go like that. It's too much blue, I think. Feels like it's too much blue. So maybe I'm going to leave a blue out like that and just go with 3. 3 is really best for balance anyway, I believe, right? All right, so let's get this glued on here. And I should have really cut a different kind of, a different flower for this one. But I don't want blue. Maybe I'll go like that anyway. No, don't like that. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. And this is yet another pink one. We'll go like that. Do I have blue? Yes, I have blue right here. Okay, Seaside Spray, I should say. That works. And then I'll lay that right on top. That. And then this is going to go here. Yeah, I kind of like it. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to put tear and tape behind here, or actually here, right in the center, where it's going to be covered up. I'm even going to put it on the ribbon because that's not moving. It will not be going anywhere. And then we still have to add, I don't know if I like it. Yeah, I kind of do like it that way because I want the white bow to be here. Yeah. Okay. And now we're adding the leaves. Forgot all about the leaves almost. So I have a fat one, a big old fat one right here. Not sure where I want to put it. Maybe right there. I think that's kind of good. Kind of looks kind of nice. Not kind of good, not very good English. And that one will go here like that. Okay, those are good. So I'm going to get some glue dots. Sorry if you're hearing my dog. She was just down here and quiet. Now she went upstairs and she's going to be noisy. Okay. That looks good there, I think. Right? I think so. And then maybe here. Yeah, I think there. And then a chubby one right next to it, about there. And then one more down here. I think that would be nice. One more. Just around here somewhere. I like that. Okay, and I think our ribbon is fine right there. I do want to bring it, shorten it a bit, and then have a little less here. And now we'll do the sentiment in Versamark and white emboss powder. Let's push this to the side. Versamark, oops, white emboss powder. And I'm using For You from Wrapped Bouquet. And I will put that right here. It's a little crooked, but that's okay because we're cutting it anyway. And then some white embossed powder. And it will get loud for a moment. I'll bring over my mini Stampin' Cut Emboss machine that I love. It's wonderful having this little one as well as the large one. For me, it is a wonderful thing. And then I'll get the die from the Wrapped Bouquet dies. If I could find it, it's got to be in here somewhere. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Found it. Oops. Okay. One of my dies landed on the floor. Okay, so let's get this on nice and even. Sorry if it's shaking. And there we have our tag. Put that away, it's little, so I don't want it to get lost. And now we can put the tag on the card. And we can use either the white, I think I'm going to stick with white. Snail, the blush would go just as well, but I think I'm sticking with the white this time. So I'm going to thread that under and cut off a nice long piece. And what happened to my tag? Oh, right there. Doesn't that always happen? All right. And there we have it. Now, the very last thing I'm doing that I forgot to bring over earlier was some, let's see, holiday gems. I have these holiday gems and I used it on my sample, so I'm going to use them here too. And we'll take a larger blue, Night of Navy, and then a smaller one right next to it, and then a smaller one, whoops, doesn't want to come up, about here. Or actually, I always have a hard time with placing pearls and rhinestones. Nope, I don't want it up there because it's already, all right, we'll leave it here. Could even put it on the tag if I wanted. I love this one. I like it so much better than my sample. But we may not be finished yet because for the inside of my other one, I used, we can go like that. I have a couple of leaves left over. How about that? Why don't we do that? Put a couple of leaves in here, since that's what I have on my desk. I think we'd be okay. Yep, gonna do that. I'm gonna put this one in there. Since I didn't use, as on my original, the stem, I forgot to cut a stem. And now here we'll use the glue dots And I'll just throw that in here. And this little one, I think that works. Yeah, that kind of works. Or maybe, whoa, let's see. Maybe the fatter one goes here and this goes here. Not sure. I might play with that later, have the placement of those. But for now, I'm good with that. No, I'm not good with it. Not good with it at all. I was better off the other way. Now I'm messing it up. I should have left well enough alone, right? Okay, let's go here. Let's go back to the original plan. Just like that for now. And then I want to get some of this glue off from my fingers. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to put the flap back on. So my ribbon is covering the scallops, so you don't see the scallops, right? I'm going to show you the sample. You don't see the scallops, and then you slide it off, and you open it up. So it says, "For you, a heartfelt thanks for everything," and then you're going to give that person a gift card and write your message right in here. You can add a piece of cardstock, as I did right here. I'll show you that in a second. Ooh, there's my little Amazon, right? I added a piece of cardstock, right? And then just threw that in there. Fold that back up, fold this over. Oh, sorry, fold that. Fold this, fold this, fold this, and this goes back on. And you could do it with so many different papers, right? And this was the sample. So basically, I used cardstock and the Rococo Rose scallop linen, and I used cardstock for my flowers. I did my tag a little differently, and we opened it up, and it said happy birthday. And so here's the stem and the leaf, and I do like that a lot, so I may go back and change what I did on this one. And then the inside. So there you go. So there's this one and the one we made today. I'll put this one on the side, and let me show you, just in case you hadn't seen before, the other two samples I have here. This was the very original one that I created with the Flower and Field and the Flower and Field cardstock designer series paper that's also retired. This is another one I made with the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. I miss you. Love you bunches. Maybe for someone, you know, your mom that lives away from you, or sister or friend, college student. And send them a little gift card. So there you have it. 3 different styles of the same fun fold. I hope you enjoyed that. For now, I'm going to take these 2 away, leave this one, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Directions, actually supply list and measurements will be in the description. Thanks for taking a peek at this today. Bye-bye.